When we look upon a grand landscape, maybe a winding river valley or a vast rolling plain, we tend to think of it as the work of immense, lifeless forces. We imagine wind, water, and ice carving the land over millions of years. And of course, that is true. But it is only part of the story. There is another force at work, one that is often overlooked. It is the quiet, persistent, and extraordinary power of life itself. Animals and some plants are not merely inhabitants of our world. They are its active architects, its engineers, and its gardeners, constantly shaping and reshaping the very ground beneath our feet. From the smallest insect to the largest mammal-living creatures are engaged in a ceaseless project of construction and excavation. They are nature's builders. They dig, they burrow, they fell trees, and they build dams. They move mountains of soil, grain by tiny grain. They filter oceans, redirect rivers, and fertilize entire continents with their presence. It is a remarkable thought. The world we see today, with its intricate patterns of hills, valleys, and coastlines, has been profoundly influenced by countless generations of these living engineers. Their collective effort, over immense spans of time, has helped create the rich and varied tapestry of habitats that support all life on Earth. Our journey begins not with giants but with the planet's most numerous and tireless workers. They are the tiny titans toiling in the darkness right under our feet. Consider the humble earthworm. It may seem insignificant, but its work is truly monumental. As it tunnels through the soil, it consumes earth, it digests organic matter, it excretes nutrient-rich castings. This constant churning mixes and aerates the soil, creating a healthier, more fertile ground for plants to grow. The worm's countless burrows act like miniature channels, allowing rainwater to penetrate deep into the ground instead of running off the surface, helping prevent erosion and recharge groundwater. Then there are the ants, social insects that have mastered excavation on an astonishing scale. A single colony excavates intricate networks of tunnels and chambers. They bring subsoil particles up to the surface and carry organic matter down below. Some ant mounds become enormous structures, miniature mountain ranges built one grain of sand at a time. In some tropical regions, ants and termites move more earth each year than all the world's rivers combined. They are among the most powerful geological agents on the planet. It's not just moving soil, it's changing chemistry and structure. When these tiny creatures burrow, they create pockets of air and pathways for water, altering how land interacts with the elements. Moving up in scale, we encounter animals that are true masters of construction and demolition. Creatures whose engineering feats can be seen from the air. Perhaps the most famous of these is the North American beaver. This remarkable rodent is driven by an innate instinct to dam streams and rivers. Using its powerful teeth, it fells trees and gnaws them into manageable logs, which it then drags into the water. It weaves these logs with branches, mud, and stones to create incredibly strong dams, transforming a fast-flowing stream into a calm, deep pond. This one act has a cascade of astonishing effects on the entire landscape. The beaver's dam slows the flow of water, causing sediment and nutrients to settle instead of being washed downstream. This creates rich, fertile soil around the newly formed pond. The pond itself becomes a vibrant new habitat, attracting fish, amphibians, waterfowl, insects. The surrounding area becomes a lush wetland, a mosaic of water and vegetation that supports a far greater diversity of life than the simple stream it replaced. Over time, as beavers build and abandon dams, they create a complex and dynamic landscape of meadows, marshes, ponds, fundamentally altering the hydrology and ecology of an entire watershed. The largest land animals on Earth are also among its most impactful landscape engineers. On the plains and in the forests of Africa and Asia, elephants wield immense power. They are agents of both creation and destruction, constantly reshaping their environment as they move through it. An elephant's sheer size and strength allows it to push over trees to reach tender leaves or to carve pathways through dense thickets. This opens the forest canopy, letting sunlight reach the forest floor and encouraging new grasses and shrubs to grow. Over time, dense woodland can become a savanna woodland mosaic. Herds of elephants create and maintain extensive networks of trails that crisscross the landscape. In North America, great herds of bison once played a similar role on the vast prairies. These animals, weighing up to a ton, roamed in enormous numbers. Their grazing was uneven. They'd heavily graze some areas and leave others untouched, creating a patchwork of grass heights that supported many birds and insects. Their powerful hooves broke up soil, and wallowing, rolling in dry dirt, created shallow depressions that collected rain, forming temporary vernal pools and breeding grounds for amphibians and invertebrates. Like the beaver, the prairie dog is what we call a keystone species, an organism whose impact on its environment is disproportionately large relative to its abundance. The power of life to shape the earth is just as potent beneath the water's surface. In the rivers of the Pacific Northwest, the salmon performs an extraordinary act of geological engineering. After years in the ocean, these fish return to the streams where they were born to spawn. The females use powerful tails to excavate nests, redds, in the gravel. A single salmon can move hundreds of pounds of gravel. When thousands do this at once, they churn and sort the riverbed. They wash away fine silt and create a looser, more oxygenated environment ideal for their eggs and for many aquatic insects. After spawning, the salmon die. Their bodies release a massive pulse of marine-derived nutrients into fresh water. In warm, shallow tropical waters, we find coral reefs, the largest living structures on Earth. Tiny animals called coral polyps build these reefs. Each polyp secretes a limestone skeleton. Over generations, millions of skeletons accumulate into vast reef structures. Reefs act as natural breakwaters, absorbing wave energy and protecting coastlines. Closer to shore, in estuaries and bays, oysters and mussels are at work. The story of life as a geological force extends deep into the past, includes some of the most spectacular creatures ever to have walked the earth. During the last ice age, megafauna like the woolly mammoth roamed across vast swaths of the northern hemisphere. Like modern elephants, these giants would have been powerful landscape modifiers. Birds, too, leave their mark on the land. Consider the great seabird colonies on remote islands and coastal cliffs. Penguins, gannets, murreys, they deposit enormous quantities of droppings, guano. Over centuries, those deposits become meters-thick, nutrient-rich rock. This brings us to the most powerful biogeomorphic agent, us, humans. Through agriculture, we transformed ecosystems, plowing prairies, clearing forests, mining, construction. We move mountains of earth, carve terraces and build cities. We dam the world's rivers, changing flow and trapping sediment. We build coastlines outward into the sea. Our impact defines the Anthropocene, from the worm to the mammoth, from the coral polyp to the human engineer. Life is not a passive passenger. It actively shapes the Earth's surface. Biogeomorphology has created the world we know. Soil, rivers, coastlines, rocks. Remember the unseen architects. Remember countless creatures building, digging, shaping their world and ours. Thank you for watching. Visit earthcrew.com for more.